Hello everyone, my Filipino friends. You already know that I live in the Philippines from time to time, like now. And naturally, when you live in another country, and in general in the process of life you encounter some everyday affairs and everyday life in general. And then you come across some oddities in seemingly simple everyday things. And as a foreigner I am used to something that is common in my country. Yes, it seems strange only to me, but having understood the situation better, there's a simple explanation for everything. But at first, all these nuances are not immediately clear, of course. And at first you are surprised by this and think, what is it and why is it like this? And then you come across some oddities in seemingly simple everyday things. And as a foreigner I am used to something that is common in my country. Yes, it seems strange only to me, but having understood the situation better, there's a simple explanation for everything. But at first, all these nuances are not immediately clear, of course. And at first you are surprised by this and think, what is it? And why is it like this? And I'll tell you about one of these examples now. So my Filipino girlfriend and I are renting a studio apartment in a condominium in the Philippines here in Cebu City. There's a kitchen, of course, where you can cook. You know, I came from a country that has 11 time zones, and in the time zone I am used to living in it is 5 hours behind the Philippines. And as you understand, when it was midnight in the Philippines, in my head it was still 7 o'clock in the evening. But the video is not about that. I'll now explain where I'm getting at and why I'm telling all this. And as you probably already guessed, because of this, at first I went to bed very late. And in the morning, I could not wake up without a cup of coffee. I tried to change my sleeping pattern to Filipino, although my Filipino girlfriend was still sleeping and didn't really care about it. And I was dragging myself to the kitchen to make coffee. And when I was going to put sugar in the coffee, I couldn't find the sugar bowl with sugar on the table. In my country, I'm used to the sugar bowl with sugar always being on the table. Well, when I don't see sugar on the table, my first thought is that the sugar probably just ran out. Or I need to open the kitchen cabinets and see if there's still some there. Or should I go to the store? In general, I didn't find sugar, and I didn't want to go to the store yet. And I decided, well, I'll drink coffee without sugar now. I'll make a sandwich with cheese and sausage. And I went into the fridge. And in the fridge, I see sugar. And I don't understand why there is sugar in the fridge. And then my Filipino girlfriend woke up hearing me like a rat scratching on the fridge. And I asked her, why did you put sugar in the fridge? It doesn't melt. It's not ice cream. I've already dug up the whole house upside down looking for sugar. And she replies, well, you know, we're used to putting sugar in the fridge. And I ask why, and she says, if I hadn't put the sugar in the fridge, then at night while you were sleeping the ants would have come and eaten all your sugar and drank coffee. That's why I removed it. Everything turned out so simple, but you know, in Russia we also have ants, but for some reason they don't commit sabotage for sugar, etc. Even in the villages, I don't remember them coming in a crowd and gobbling up sugar. Even in our villages, we always have sugar on the table. I don't know why Philippine ants have such a sweet tooth. And all this time I thought that she was hiding sugar from me. Has something like this ever happened to you? I just realized that when you have an international couple from such completely different countries in climate and mentality, well, in everything, then this manifests itself even in such simple everyday things, and you learn a lot little by little, and it's interesting. Sometimes funny, but always interesting. Subscribe. We'll talk a lot more about the Philippines.
Yan na,